Studio 102 in Plymouth Barbican. 102 Vauxhall Street, the Barbican, Plymouth PL1 2DD. It's the end of the year show with Standout Art.
Maybe I'm foolish, maybe I'm blind, thinking I can see through this and see what's beyond. No way to prove it, so maybe I'm lying. But I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on me. Don't put your blame on me. Take a look in the mirror, what do you see? You see it clearer, right to see. And what you believe, 'cause I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on me. Don't put your blame on me. Some people got real problems. Some people out of luck. Some people think I can solve them. Lord heavens above. I'm only human.
There is a chick's head on there. There's something on its head as well. What's on its head there? Can you tell?
Well, I'm not sure.
If you're thinking to yourself, I don't want to say it in polite company, then you've probably got the right answer. We're not polite company, love. That's a rat's scrotum on its head. So we'll move on from there. They are, you know, they're surprising. You see the ones downstairs on the shelf?
Yeah.
What I do is I cut the ball sacks off the rats and put the pencil sharpener up the arsehole. But that left me, right? That started to leave me with these. With a bag of scrotums. So what I've started doing with them now, I sell rat scrotum pendants. So say if you've got a long distance relationship or something, or you think your partner's playing away, spray a bit of your perfume onto some rat's ball sack and give it to them just as a little sort of passive aggressive threat, you know.
That's great.
I like it.
It's different.
Yeah.
Oh, I like these. Are they inside out?
Yeah, they're drying out at the minute. So here we've got rats. There's 5 rats.
Yeah.
There's a couple of mice, and then the rest of it is just various bits of rabbit. So the chunks like that are rabbit's heads, and then I've got maybe 2 full ones, and then the rest of them are almost a full rabbit. I'm going to turn them into an air freshener.
What's the story of this one, Jack?
In a car.
Oh, that's just, I'm trying to make it set so that the head will get firmer and be in more of a position that I like. And it's also to show off these.
Is this acupuncture?
Yeah, if you like, man. It's rabbit's eyeballs, so that, because they go red, they go a nice colour when you put them in resin for some reason. Well, I'm going to turn the automatic air freshener. Do you know like the hear no evil, speak no evil, see no evil? So imagine 3 rabbit's heads there, but the ears are going to be covering the mouth, well, covering the eyes and then covering the mouth. And then the one with the ears open is going to be there, and the spray is going to come out of the mouth. I'm hoping it will appeal to the person that bought me rabbit toaster.
Does it jump up?
The toaster did, yeah.
It's lovely.
Thank you, love, thank you.
It's hilarious, it's absolutely brilliant.
Awesome, cheers, mum.
Yeah.
Little key rings. So because I end up with a lot of animal bits left over, and I can't be, in all honesty, can't always be arsed driving to Newton Abbot. It's a bit better to try and use up as much of the animal as possible.
Yeah.
So you've got, in that one's a little pot.
Oh yeah.
In amongst all of the resin stuff, you've got hearts, eyeballs, kidneys, spines, bollocks, hearts, tails. There's even a little tiny bit of, over here we've got a bit of intestine. This is where I found my line. Turns out if you squeeze the juice out of an intestine and put it on your skin, it feels like really cold, greasy sand, which is vile. And it made me feel a little bit ill. And it's the first time I've felt ill in all the time I've been doing this. Because I was wearing gloves, and I normally wear gloves, but for some reason the consistency of the I suppose pre-poo, maybe, can we settle with that? Is that polite enough? Yeah, proto-poo, we'll go with proto-poo. The consistency of that on the glove was like glue, and it would just stick to the glove, so I thought, I'll try it without the glove. And then it was more pliable and I could use it and draw with it, and like I decided what I'm gonna do with the intestinal juices is draw like child's drawings and key rings, just to make it look a bit more mental, you know. That's your Christmas present.
What's this, Brotherby? How old is it? What's the animal?
It's mice. How many mice do you reckon it took? Nice one, boss. Nice to meet you. How many mice do you reckon that took?
I like to think one.
One? That'd be a big mouse, that, man. That took 6 mice. There is a bit of a giveaway, I don't mind. If you pick it up, you can see that there's about 12 feet just hidden around. I thought it'd be a shame to take the feet off because, you know, well, I mean, what's a mouse without its feet, innit? It's just a furry slug. So, you want all them on there.
Very slow.
So how do they kill all the germs and shit on it?
I clean them out.
But how's that work? What do you do?
Because of the mice and the rats that I buy and the rabbits that I buy, they're sold as pet food, you know, for snakes. So they're bred specifically not to have any germs and illnesses with them. With the wild animals like the foxes, some of my other rabbits, the moles, the squirrels.
Roadkill?
Nah, not roadkill. Pest controllers and estate managers. I've tried roadkill, but when you get it, it really smells. Nah, man, I'm not hard done by, innit? Luckily, I sell just enough pencil cases to afford a bag of chicken.
I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on me. Don't put your blame on me.
I'm catching up with Joe Beer. How are you?
I'm really, really well, thank you, Chris.
So it's
Yes.
been a while since we last recorded.
It has. Gosh, probably a couple of years.
Soon goes.
Possibly, something like that.
So what have
probably.
you been doing since then?
I'm now full-time artist. I used to be a part-time artist, but I've gone the whole hog and painting, doing lots of commission work. And when I'm not doing commission work, painting what I want to paint, which is also always people. People, all different characters. I'm starting to build a collection because I've got another solo exhibition in the Theatre Royal next year,
Yes.
12 months from now.
So what was the feedback on your last one in the Theatre Royal too?
Fantastic. I sold most of them in there.
Yes.
And people still talk about it and remember it, which is really, really great, which is why I want to try and aim for every 2 or 3 years have a solo show. And the Theatre Royal is such a lovely big space to exhibit in.
So how did you get into art in the first place?
I've always done it, really. My mum was very arty, taught me and my twin sister to paint and do anything creative from a really early age. We'd go out and pick things up. We lived in the countryside, get leaves and bring back and draw them. So I've always done it, but it's only now in the last couple of years that I've been able to concentrate on it full time as a full-time job.
Takes the pressure off.
It's great. It's
So
lovely.
where are you from originally?
Hemerdon.
Right. Where's that?
It's outside Plymouth, where they've just had the great big mine. They took over the whole place and built
Is that tungsten?
tungsten mine that is now not making any money. So they bulldozed our old house for nothing. Yeah, but so that's where we grew up, and then so we have that sort of like love of nature and used to draw flowers and birds and trees and leaves.
That's
and all
where I
that
get all
sort of
mine
thing.
from, my inspiration from.
Yeah.
So what's your website again?
My website, joebeer.art.co.uk.
And you're on Facebook?
Yes.
Thanks a lot. And this is Steve Beer. Long time no see, Steve. How are you?
I'm fine, Chris. Yeah, thanks very much.
So what have you been doing with yourself?
I've sort of, I do all kinds of things really. A lot of my work recently has been painting, but just recently I've turned to sort of making things more in the sculptural kind of process. So this is a piece of my work. It's called The Crucifixion of Communication. It came about basically because teenage children who get through mobile phones, I can't throw things away because I don't like this idea that this kind of thing's going to end up in a landfill, so I keep it. And then one day I just felt compelled that I had to nail the phones to a cross. So I made a wooden cross and I started nailing them. It's virtually impossible to nail a phone
Is that an
to a
innuendo
cross.
that they make?
Sometimes I don't, when I'm creating a piece of work, I don't start out with an intention. I just feel compelled to do something, and I knew I had to nail them to a cross, and it was only once I started doing it that I felt that it was coming together and looking like a sort of Jesus type figure. And the whole idea was about maybe mobile phones and social media, and the fact that my daughter has thousands of friends on social media but very few friends that she physically meets. It's a different kind of friendship, and I just felt that the phone, which is a communication sort of device, in some ways limits our communication with other people.
Yes.
But when it came together, I sort of...
You don't see the mannerisms and characteristics.
No, you don't, yeah, and you're not actually face-to-face interacting physically with people. And so I decided it was going to be like the Christ figure and the nails around the top as well, sort of things, and the crown of thorns. And it was only after I completed it that I decided to give it the subtitle of "They Died to Save Us from Our Sims," so which just sort of finished it off really for me. That was the final piece that made the work complete.
Was it like an anti-stress therapy as well?
Yeah, it is in a way. It started from a little piece I did called, I was looking at some of the sculptures and things being put together and couldn't figure out what some sculptures I was looking at meant. And I just decided to nail some things together, and I had a smaller piece called Something Nailed to Something Else. And that was it. All I wanted to do was nail some things together. And this is a bit of a follow-up piece, but this has a lot more meaning now it's complete, I think. But it found itself in a way. So.
You used to be an art technician, didn't you, after studying at the College of Art and Design?
I did, and then I was a media lecturer for many years at the City College in Plymouth. I taught media. I used to teach video production, journalism, sound recording, that sort of thing. So it was all those.
It's changed so much over the years as well.
It is, yeah.
You done analog, moved to digital during your time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Technology changes so rapidly. There was an interesting thing. I was reading an interview with Steven Soderbergh, the filmmaker, recently, and he's just completed a film, and no one knew that he was making this film. And it turns out that he shot the entire movie. This is a Hollywood movie on an iPhone, and you just think, wow, that's the way technology is now. You can make a feature film on an iPhone.
He uses any formats of cameras, mobile cameras, to get an image, because he says it's the image that's important,
right,
not the equipment you're using.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
It is, yeah. Incredible way things are going.
So how do you manage to keep up with the different mediums that are coming on?
I don't keep up with anything anymore. I just do my own thing with whatever takes my fancy. And if that's a hammer and nails and nailing a piece of modern technology to a bit of old wood, then that's what I'll use.
Thanks very much, Steve.
Okay.
Hello, I'm very well, thank you. How are you? Yeah, no, I've got one here today, and then next week I've got this piece. The original is going into a gallery on Southside Street called Kaya Gallery, along with some other pieces as well. So I've got a few things happening at the moment. Really busy. I've just moved to Exeter, so it's bonkers. Yeah, it's really nice. Well, it's not quite Exeter. It's just outside of Exeter, but yeah. So I've got a nice studio space there now, so I can carry on working.
Yesterday.
Well done. Yeah, yes. And we've just driven back from Exeter after cleaning a kitchen, so...
I know that. I've done lots of this in journalistic as well.
Yeah.
And I had exams yesterday as well.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Not the second sitting Gills.
Fun.
So what's this one about? We've seen this one before.
Well, we've seen it half finished before. It's now completely finished, which is great. I did have it up in town, but it wasn't finished, and now the original's all being framed over in Southside Street, and it's going into, as I say, going into Kaya Gallery. So yeah, this is called Sea of Consciousness.
It's a very good gallery, actually.
Yeah, it's really nice. He's a lovely guy. Chris, yeah, exactly. Yeah, another Chris. So this piece is called Sea of Consciousness. It started out as from a talk I heard about how we're all swimming in a sea of consciousness, and what we don't realise, because obviously, like fish swimming in the sea, they don't realise they're in water, you know, because that's what they've always known. So if you can kind of step outside of that, what could you see? So, and the idea is all these sea creatures are sort of like spirits and thoughts and a manifestation of ideas, but it's also sort of an ode to the sea itself and the sort of the spirit of the sea, or the goddess of the sea, and her archetype. So it's a mixture of themes, because it took a long time to make, so it sort of evolved into lots of different things. But it is whatever anyone wants it to be, really. If you enjoy it for whatever you see in it, that's completely fine by me. So
Can you give me your website again?
www.lucyhannahbarrit.com.
Will you be having a gallery in Exeter?
Well, we've only just moved there, so I've got to scope out some places at the moment and see if there's anywhere that wants me. So that's kind of over winter. Actually, over winter I'm going to be hibernating and painting. That's my plan. Go out into some markets in Totnes and things like that.
And the water's edge as well.
Yeah.
There's some really good galleries down there.
Oh yeah, okay, right, yeah. So yeah, doing that and just networking with the Exeter art scene as well, because I don't really know anyone from there, so that would be really cool. Yeah. All right, thanks, Chris. Yeah, you too.
Hello, what's your name?
Hello, I'm Michale McQueen.
And this is your art behind you.
It is, yes.
So how long have you been an artist?
I've been an artist since I was about probably 14, I would say, so 10 years now.
You're based in Bristol at the moment.
I'm based in Bristol, yes.
So how did you end up coming to Plymouth with your exhibition?
Well, I went to university in Plymouth originally. About 5 years ago I started that now. So I've been aware of Studio 102 for the last maybe 3 years. I've had a couple of exhibitions in here earlier this year as well. And this is their last one of the year, so I thought I would apply again with an even bigger piece.
So, what's most of your art based on?
Most of my art, as in just this piece, or most of my practice?
Talk about, practice to start with.
The practice to start with. It's difficult to pin it down to one thing. I use art as a kind of therapy in a lot of ways. It's
What do you mean by therapy?
So I use it to relax myself. It makes me happy. I basically do art because it makes me happy. That's the most simple.
Meditation almost.
Yeah, almost. Yeah. I make art for kind of a lot of different reasons, for a lot of different purposes. So at the minute I'm doing a lot of pattern work because I'm finding that's particularly meditative, and it challenges me to create new patterns that don't exist anywhere yet. So I find that quite original. That's a really original way to create my art, I feel, and it all feels very organic to me to create patterns like that as well. So yeah, that's working for me at the minute. So for this piece I've used Posca pen just straight onto the canvas, but I'm a multimedia artist, so I use everything and anything that I can basically.
And how many different styles do you work in?
Oh, I couldn't put a number on it. I work.
So you vary quite a lot.
Yeah, I do. I work with traditional materials as well as digital, and I find a lot of my best work comes from combining the two together to create mixed media pieces, which have both traditional elements and digital editing involved.
Have you had many exhibitions before?
So this is my third in here. I've had a couple in Bristol, which were called Equinox, and they were based around spring and autumn equinoxes. And I haven't had very many other ones yet. I only graduated 2 years ago, so I've mostly been exhibiting since then.
So you're still learning and experimenting?
Yeah, absolutely, always.
So whereabouts in Bristol are you based?
I'm around fish ponds at the minute. I don't have a studio space yet because I'm not quite able to afford it. So I'm just working from home currently. But
It's a good centre to be in. There's a good vibe in Bristol.
Yeah, absolutely. That's just why I moved there, because it's got.
Because I come to 2 or 3 festivals there this year.
Oh yeah.
I did their Naked Psycho and also I could be their Pride event as well.
Oh yeah.
Quite a few times.
Yeah, no, they've got a really good kind of artistic vibe going on in Bristol. And yeah, there's just lots going on all the time, plenty to get involved in, and yeah, it's really good kind of atmosphere for artists, I think.
So have you got a website?
I do. It's currently under construction, but it's www.mcqueensmultimedia.com, and you can find me on social media on Facebook and Instagram under McQueen's Multimedia as well.
Nice one. Thanks a lot for your time.
Excellent. Thanks very much.
Maybe I'm foolish, maybe I'm blind, thinking I can see through this, see what's beyond. No way to prove it, so maybe I'm lying. But I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on me. Don't put your blame on me. Take a look in the mirror, what do you see? You see it clearer, right to see. And what you believe, 'cause I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on me. Don't put your blame on me. Some people got real problems. Some people out of luck. Some people think I can solve them. Lord heavens above. I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on me. Don't put your blame on me. That's my opinion, and that's me to lie. Beg for forgiveness for making you cry. Thank you, Don. Thanks so much, guys. Thanks so much. For making you cry. 'Cause you're only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on me. Don't put your blame on me. Whoa, some people got real problems. Some people out of luck. Some people think I can solve them. Lord heavens above. I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on me. Don't put your blame on me. 'Cause I'm only human to make mistakes. You're only human. It's all it takes. Don't put your blame on
Thanks to the great Studio 102 in Plymouth Barbican. You can find them on Google and Facebook. Thanks to Gypsy Watkins, Jack Devaney, Chris Parks and Jenny Ridgway. This has been a Chris Summerfield video 2018. Don't forget to subscribe to my videos. You can contact me at ccsphoto12@hotmail.com, and if you can help to sponsor my videos, you can PayPal me at ccsphoto1@gmail.com. Thanks for watching the video. Music with great thanks by Steve Sampson from Plymouth. You can find him on Facebook. It's